This feels like the better move. You know what? I feel like everything's going fine. I feel like everything's going swimmingly, you know. Of course, there's always got to be something which causes problems. Hello, Gomez here from the LAN Up channel again with another deck for you today. This one is called Heal and Hit, which is a Miss Fortune and Soraka deck. Let's get into this. So as I said, the deck is called Heal and Hit, and it is because you're combining Soraka with Miss Fortune. It's actually a deck that I made when facing somebody in normals. They were playing the similar combination, and I was like, I like the way that they. You might have even seen in a previous video if I put it into that. Because as I'm filming these videos, it was a deck that I played against. I don't know whether it's going to make it into the cut. It depends on how good the other matches were, whether or not I decide to put it in. But the idea of it is actually quite solid, and that it's. Basically, I mean, I just want to state for the record, I beat that deck in case I don't put the clip in. But I do like it because the idea of it is that once you can get Syren on the board with Miss Fortune, her attack is already doing 2 damage, right? That which, like, you know, just her standard like skill is doing 2 damage with Syren on the board, and then. Once it levels up, it gets more devastating. But obviously, Miss Fortune is quite hard to keep alive. So the ability to be able to heal her back up again, and the ability to then potentially level Soraka. This deck does not actually run the landmark. It's very important to note that. So it's kind of almost like Tom Kench Soraka, only it's tailored more towards Miss Fortune, and it's not got the landmark in, so it's more of a kind of aggression deck more than it is a healing deck. So the idea of it is that, like, obviously you've got things like shakedown and whatnot, so you can make your opponent's things vulnerable so that Miss Fortune damage can hit in, as well as the fact that you've got like astral protection and guiding touch and things that are just going to heal her or get her health to a nice way. And the second that Syren hits on the board, you can start causing some nice devastation. You've got Navigator here, who's with the Scout, who creates another Scout minion, so therefore, yeah, again, just helping Miss Fortune. You've got the ability to rally, which obviously Miss Fortune's attack hitting into the core basically means that you can rally instantly by using that, so get a little bit of a heal on people, as well as rallying. Because obviously, like, this works really well with Soraka for that heal effect, depending on, obviously, what's on the board at the time. I put a Sunburst in this deck. It's mainly to counter... It counters most champions, right? So obviously it's what you, like, you know, for your Ezreals, or it's for your what you could, like, Trundles. It's one of those kind of cards where it can order even Fiora if somebody's playing Fiora. It's one of those cards which literally it's just a removal mostly for champions. It can be used outside of champions, but its main purpose is mostly for champions. On that Sunburst, the fact that it silences first is what makes it like a very nice removal tool. But the rest of it, so you got your crack shot, so you got early game coming in here, a little bit of dealing damage to your own things, so potentially you can get the Soraka out early, start healing. Because bear in mind, as I said, there is no landmarks, so there's nothing that's going to be continuously healing, so you actually do have to level her up by healing things. That's the reason why the Shepherd is not in this deck, is because of the fact that literally if I was running the landmark, I might consider putting the Shepherd in the deck, because obviously it would make sense with the healing deck to have her in, but because there's no guarantee of heals, so potentially I said this deck could be reworked to include that, but I kind of really wanted to go more down the Miss Fortune aspect of this deck. So but there is a rework you could do, but then you're just starting to make it into basically the Tom Soraka deck, and it's like, if you're gonna run that, just run that. This is a different take on it, is what my point is. So yeah, but obviously you got things that are gonna be doing damage so that you can then heal back up again. You got draw through heal, more draw, hush just because you never know when you need it. Power Cascade for that additional, actually, like a draw as well as like an attack and whatnot. Miss Fortune, obviously Soraka, astral protection to be able to do that. I did consider putting a couple of copies of Bastion in, because yet again it doesn't stop against a Vengeance and whatnot, but I kind of decided to not put Bastion because there was other things that I wanted to put in and make sure they were in. So Bastion is an option that you could potentially, like, remove some things to be able to do, but Shakedown's main thing is that once you get Miss Fortune on the deck, you can basically be trying to deal damage to things on the other side of the board, as well as the fact that obviously once Syren gets on the board, as I said, her initial skill does 1 damage, and then when you level her up, actually, when you level her up, I think, because it's swimming, it's one. I need to remember how the wording goes on Syren. So Syren, while I'm attacking, all my spells and skills deal 1 extra damage, which should technically mean that Miss Fortune's level up is which it deal 1 damage 3 times, so technically that should be 6 damage, because that is going to be, yeah, so 6 damage like a in which is, so it's going to be a burst of 2, burst of 2, burst of 2. So that's a very nice thing to remember, that once she levels up, if you can keep Syren on board, it's just devastating. Obviously Syren draws her as well. So this is my take on this deck. I do feel like potentially there could be some changeovers and some things like that. I put the Corsair in here mainly because the Corsair, yet again, it's nice early game that's hitting into your opponent, as well as the fact that obviously when Syren hits, that is 2 damage on the enemy core. So once you can get both of those 2 on the board, you're basically with Syren doing 4 damage into the enemy core before anything else hits. If you can keep, as I said, like those things on the board, it's just a very nice thing. So that's what I'm aiming for here, and then the ability to heal her back up again. So this is my take on it. If there's any changes and whatnot, please let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. I just want to say that Soraka is also, as well as a sustaining thing, can also draw once she gets to a certain point. So that's also a nice thing to have in here. Maybe you might want to get rid of a Soraka to put in a Twisted Fate. It's definitely something that could be potentially done in this deck. But this is the way that I'm writing it right now. Remember, people, that I do also stream on Twitch on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. There's the Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram there. The links are all down below, as well as the Discord link if you want to join the Discord. There's a lovely community that we're making of people. It is also a giveaway going on Twitch at this moment in time for Christmas. So if you want to get involved with that, we can get your hands potentially on some Twisted Fate cards. Potentially I might play the advertisement, because I've made a slight advertisement, so you might see that in a brief couple of seconds, but if not, it's all good because I'm still editing and things like that. But you might see something, or you might not see something. But I honestly thank you so much for the support, because I've already hit 1,000 followers on Twitch, because I do have this goal of hitting 1,000 followers on Twitch and 1,000 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the year. We've smashed through that Twitch goal. Let's smash through the YouTube one as well. We're 60 away, or last time I checked, I was 60 away from hitting 1,000 on YouTube. It would be so amazing to go into the new year. That would be the best Christmas and year present for me if I could hit both of them. But honestly, thank you everyone who already supports me. It astounds me. It astounds me that people want to support me, if I'm going to be honest with you. So thank you all so much. You're all amazing and beautiful. Now, let's get in and see how this deck does in a couple of matchups. Oh, Fiora Shen. It's actually it's going to be a very hard matchup. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a very hard matchup with that Fiora. All I can do is hope. Oh, I mean, a silence actually might be really good. I could. A part of me was thinking about keeping Syren, but is there really any point? Okay, Hush might actually be. I mean, it's not exactly the best draw I was expecting. It's not exactly the best draw I was expecting, but I will take it. I do feel like I'm going to be in a lot of problems coming up very soon for me. I might as well keep the mana. Throw Miss Fortune out next turn. Throw Miss Fortune out.
Fortune favors the bold.
At least this means that I can proc a shield. If he goes for a barrier move, at least I can proc the barrier. That's like the one benefit of that. I feel like I'm going to need this for Fiora, Fiora, yeah.
Set sail. Love ya.
Bearing in mind that actually her love tap actually would get rid of a barrier anyway. It's very important to remember that. Okay, so he's playing these cards close to each other. I'm guessing he just barried Fiora, right? Either that or Shen. Okay, did he barrier Shen? Yeah, no, he barried Shen. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, so risky move here. Risky move, but I'm going for it. Gotta go for that draw. I mean, it's not exactly what I'd be wanted to top deck, but I'll take it. So potentially Miss Fortune's move just to remove this, because that would remove that. I could also keep that back for another draw move, but I kind of like the idea of this and forcing out that. Shen's the one who I need to kill. It's just finding a way to kill him right now. Yeah, no, because that barrier means you can really start to become problematic if you let it. So I basically need something. I basically need. Oh, I mean that's what you're looking for. Navigator's what I'm looking for right now. Comes when called. So the question is now, do we?
Water changes but never breaks.
Right, potentially just throw both of these forward. Throw both of these forward. Bearing in mind, obviously, this is always gonna force out any kind of move that which it would happen there. So I don't mind that. 3 damage in. I could always use Shakedown. I could always use Shakedown to try and force the Shen's death, which wouldn't actually be the worst plan. To force Shen's death here, as well as the fact that I can obviously cause some damage to the River Shaper. So I'll potentially go with this just to make these two vulnerable and mean that I can attack forward again and kill Shen. Obviously, by killing you, it does mean that I don't get that, but she's already on 3, so technically the scout is not a necessary thing for my attack. But obviously, if she dies, then I've got problems because I was so close to leveling her. But we will see how it goes right now. Okay, it's not the best, but this is potentially what I'm going for. Because even if he tries to shield Shen, he dies anyway. So I can live with that. Oh, the only way. Oh, yeah, no, I can't do anything about that. That has forced the concerted out though. The only important thing to remember that's forced the concerted out that would probably have been used on Miss Fortune. That's the one. I mean, unless he's got like another one and he's just hiding it back, which he could have done. Oh, that's not what you want. That's not what you want to see. I mean, I've got a hush. I've got a hush, which means that like that basically I can take that back down if I needed to. A big part of me is almost thinking about using the rally move right now just to have something to defend myself with, because I haven't really got anything to defend myself. Or do we just take it? So I'm gonna go see what happens if I take it. Let's just take the damage.
I find them unworthy.
Okay. Yep, sod it. It's not the one. It's not the one you want. It's not the one you want, but I'll take it. Force a draw. Force a draw here. That's quite nice as well, actually, to have us an extra attack. Because bearing in mind that her attack is going to be like we instantly go for an attack. We instantly go for an attack because we've got another one in hand now actually as well, which is very nice. We instantly go for an attack because we want to force that level up on her. We can even force the damage in elsewhere. As well as the fact that we could actually, what's his silenced form is actually his silenced form would actually die, which is very nice. Let's go with that. That's what we go with. That's what we go with. This is actually an okay move. We might actually be able to come back into this, and then we can rally, because we can rally off of the off of that. This is actually a really nice move. Really nice move. That vulnerable really helped us out. This is actually. I was looking for. We should hopefully be. I mean, obviously, single combat, concerted strike, barriers. But as I said, we do have another silence if he goes for a barrier. But bearing in mind that does actually do damage in free. So he might, if he barriers Shen, he can actually save Shen. But then we just rally and we're going forward again anyway. So as I said, it doesn't really matter if he goes for the barrier move. This has actually gone very well against the Shen Fiora deck. Not gonna lie, that's not the one I wanted to see. It's not the one, but that has taken a lot of his mana resource. That's taken a lot of his mana resource, and we can make it. We can just go again, and we go again, and then he just instantly concedes. We go again, under cover of daylight, because no one expects you to go again under cover of daylight. So no, we just go again. He does actually survive because he can put something in front of the... Actually, no, he doesn't, because the damage coming in from here, as long as we put this in the way of that, the damage going in is too much for him to take it. Like, he has to throw Shen in front of this, but he's taking 3 damage off of this, and then taking 3 damage off of the Miss Fortune, so... He's dead, right? Because even if he does throw Shen in front of this, he's dead still. Like, both ways. Unless he can buff this one set. So unless he's got Twin Discipline. Twin Discipline's about the only thing, but then we could have hushed it. So we were fine either way. We were fine either way. I mean, he's there. It's done. It's done! Boom. Ooh, okay, this is a control long form deck that has got a lot of heals, so we're probably not gonna be able to beat it unless it's playing the Miss Wraith version of it where it's a disguise. But why would you bother with that? Why would you bother with that in normals? I mean, maybe actually I keep that. I mean, I would honestly I would laugh so much if they were testing out for the tournament, testing out the because there's a deck that's going around which basically only has one copy of Anivia, and then the rest of it is a Miss Wraith deck. That it's basically the idea of it is to bamboozle you into thinking that it's an Anivia control deck, and really it's an aggressive Miss Wraith deck. And obviously in the tournament where you only get to see the champion, like you instantly think, oh, it's going to be an Anivia control deck. But it's not. I massively just assume this is not. This is. I mean, because why would you be playing it on like? Why would you be playing it on in normals? I feel like. I don't know. I feel like it's not gonna be, but it might be. The second I see a Miss Wraith come out, it's like, I know who you are. I know what your plan is. But it looks like it's more the control deck. It looks like it's more the control deck, which is understandable. Just forcing down that damage right now. Potentially going into a Soraka move. But right now we're just forcing down health. If they are the control deck, they've got a lot of heals. They've got a lot of heals. Potentially we see the crystal. Well, okay, no, just caretaker, kindly innkeeper or tavern keeper. Sod it. He can't use these, which he's not going to be using his avalanche move right now, so that's fine. Kind of need to be doing damage in right now so I can start getting those heals on. Does that make sense? That could technically pull my Miss Fortune out. Oh yeah, I'll go with that move. I'll go with this. If he's going to use a vengeance move anyway, I don't mind this because we can go into an astral protection or a thing. I mean, vengeance obviously I can't defend, but this I can get a heal on her, and also her attacking forward gets a heal on her, so that's fine. That kind of damage I can take. I'm actually just going to pass the turn here because I want to see what they're going to do. I'm more curious because if it's Grasp of the Undying, I can get a past Grasp of the Undying. I really hope he uses WoW. He's got no reason to use WoW, by the way, because it wouldn't clear anything of my side of the board. It would be, but I would love him to use it. I said he would not use it because it would be the most stupidest move he ever made if he tried to go for that. But I like to live in hope. Vengeance, I'm assuming. I mean, that's a lot of spells. Okay, right. Avalanche. With that. Okay, well, number one, I can get her past that anyway with this. So, that's fine. Number two, I can get them past that with this, which is fine. Obviously, I start to lose my Corsair, but he's got so many heals in that deck that it doesn't really matter. Yeah. So, and then we get another heal forward, which means that I can actually level. I level Soraka on this turn thanks to that move. So I just level Soraka on this move by just going straight forward here. Which is very nice. At least I know that she's leveled now, which is very good. I'm gonna need that for later, especially when all of those, like, you know, Anivias start attacking in for like a devastating damage. I'm going to need that. The rally's probably going to be very important. I need Syren. I need that Miss Fortune on the board right now. Like, I need them to stand a ghost of a chance. I really wish it was my move now going into their move, and I could have played Syren on their move so I could instantly go into my attack turn by playing Miss Fortune. Okay. I don't actually mind putting this in front of that because then I can heal it and get a draw. Bit of Syren next turn. You know what I mean? I wish that I could. I was on 7 on their attack turn now, because it would be Syren, next turn Miss Fortune. It would actually be like a really powerful move. Sadly, this I cannot do. Potentially a Ruination move might be coming as well. You need to remember the fact that they do run Ruination in that deck. So you do have to be careful. He can't use it next turn, but he's getting close to the point where he could use it. And that's the point. So throw Syren down just because it at least gets Miss Fortune in my hand. But I do know this is not the best. But I've at least got to play that. But yeah, no, he's one mana away from Ruination. I assume Ruination comes out very soon. I could technically actually use Shakedown to force these things off of his side, but he's going to Ruinate anyway. It doesn't actually matter. He needs to play his Anivia to be able to play his Rekindlers and then play his Harrowing. So that's the thing with it. It's kind of waiting until he does that move. So I could use the Shakedown move. I want to see whether or not anything he puts. Okay, so he puts that in front of there, which at least means I've got a heal target now. I think I could have done Shakedown to get rid of it, but you know, I'll go with that. If I can preserve my mana, I'd rather preserve my mana if I'm going to be honest. Okay. Yeah. So the thing of it is that we want to wait because they've got the ability to use Ruination, so you kind of don't want to just throw Miss Fortune out willy nilly. Yeah, I know. I get what I get what you're putting down, my friend. I get what you're putting down. So we can still actually throw you out because that's still like it's a board which demands respect, so that he would have to or not. I legitimately thought he would Ruinate that because this board now demands that, like, you know, I can go in for a scout move. I'm not playing because it might as well force the damage in. You need to force your. I mean, what are you doing? That's got to be that's the Anivia control deck. What is? We just go for an instant attack forward now. I'm not. There's no point in me playing anything on that when I've got lethal. I'm not going to play something onto the board like a crazy man. Don't get me wrong, I know I am a crazy man, but I'm not going to play something onto the board if I don't need to. Forcing more, but maybe he doesn't have Ruination at the moment in his hand. It's just that is such a, like, the fact that he passed last turn just made me massively assume that he did. Which admittedly is my bad for assuming these things. I should have Fiora. So he survives on 6, but we got the ability to rally, and he's just spanked all of his mana. So we go again. Actually, we can even play Miss Fortune now. Oh, we go again. We go again. I mean, that boom, just concede. Yep. He knows where this is going. And then we go again. Oh, I mean, I want to know. I want to know what's happening. I want to know what I'm up against here. Do I keep Sunburst for? I mean, 1, 2, 3 of those champions, Sunburst actually can do something too. So I might actually keep it. I want to know what I'm up against. I'm guessing 1 copy of ASOL. Potentially 2 Heimers. I honestly, I'm so confused. I'm actually confused myself now in terms of I've got no idea what I'm up against. I could throw the Croaker out. It doesn't give me the draw. It doesn't do damage to himself, but I feel like. Oh, sod it. Go. I don't mind doing that trade-off. I could have waited and used Astral Protection on that to make that trade slightly better. I'm guessing this is a Perfection deck. I've played enough Perfection decks in my life to know when I'm up against one.
This world has such great potential.
I feel like this is a Perfection deck. Perfection with ASOL and with the. I mean, it's such a bold man move. I'm not gonna lie. Potentially, I could have thrown out what's the next navigator, but I massively expect thermal here. Ooh, not thermal. Okay, so he's got sunburst himself. I was honestly expecting thermal, which is why I went with that to be able to defend myself with astral. Obviously, astral doesn't work now because it's going to silence the minion anyway. So, not gonna lie, I moved too soon. I should have gone with the astral with the navigator. All I can do now is hope that I top deck Miss Fortune soon. Okay, so he's using all that to invoke. I could kill this. But against Sunburst, I kind of want to be leaving for his. Okay, well, I mean, fair play to him. Fair play. We go big. We go big mostly because we can still astral our way past this right now. We could even throw this on there as well just to do more damage. Just so that we're basically, we get a bit of draw, we're doing a bit more damage to that unit. Because I could have technically put the power cascade over here. But I like the idea of this because now this is like, he has to like defend both of them, potentially, if he wants to. Yeah, because that still survives, and that still survives, so it's actually an okay trade-off on my side. Yeah. I mean, you know what? I've got no. I'm assuming this is gonna be. I'm assuming this is gonna be a what's his face deck, but I've honestly got no idea. I do kind of want to kill this because I feel like I'm gonna get a Flash of Brilliance coming up right now. I feel like that's the move. A big part of me also does want to throw this out because it does mean that I get to get my Miss Fortune. But he can just build. He can fill the board. But do I really care if he fills the board if I'm just going to be throwing Miss Fortune out anyway? Which is with the scout move going to be like a really nice move. That's the question I've got to ask myself. Do I potentially hush? Do I potentially hush and go and throw out the throw you out just because the hush move is just as good as the sunburst move because the fact that it immobilizes him, like he can't make his bots, so it kind of any moves that he was planning on doing there with spells as like he can still use them, but it's just that they come more. Oh, of course you do. Really powerful. That was really powerful move to stop what was about to happen. Really powerful. I still throw Miss Fortune out. Because of that sunburst move. I'm assuming this actually forces any removal onto Miss Fortune as well. So if he's got like a sunburst, if he's got whatever, I feel like it forces it. He's going for the invoke. So potentially he just finds a obliterate spell, which there's nothing I can do about. Obliteration is something that I can't stop at all. But we still go. I did obviously have I could technically shake down so I can force the Heimer. Of course, Jerry. I love a Jerry. Yeah, we let that happen. We can't throw out this, but what we can throw out is we can throw Soraka out. Which means that now we do a shakedown onto a heal move. And that's quite nice. Because we do a shakedown. Because we also force down that. So do a shakedown over here to force out you. And potentially the other quick attack. Because I mean, obviously Miss Fortune's going to be... forcing that damage in. Actually, we'll. You go to this. I can actually throw Miss Fortune down into this attack as well, because we can force that over here and force that over here, which just means that we're forcing him basically to put a blocker. Yeah, because he might think we've got power cascade as well. Okay, no. I mean, man does not even consider the power cascade move. Fair enough, then. I would have been scared about the power cascade move, but it's fine. It's fine. Because power cascade, I could have technically traded that away. So, Miss Fortune. Oh, yes, another Miss Fortune. Actually, as well, that's pretty much. I mean, I do have the ability to astral protect her past this, which I feel is the move that we use because it's a heal move, so it's helping Soraka, as well as the fact that if he's got a sunburst, he kills Miss Fortune, and I've got another Miss Fortune in hand. So this feels like the better move. You know what? I feel like everything's going fine. I feel like everything's going swimmingly. You know, of course, there's always got to be something which causes problems. So I could sunburst this just to force it down so that Miss Fortune is Miss Fortune. So I've got my scout move next turn, right? Yeah, no, actually no. We let the scout move happen because what happens is he won't defend. If we do the scout move, he might defend it. He probably doesn't. He probably doesn't. But by doing this, he might defend it. So he goes for the defense there, which we've got no way. Not even astral protection can save. So we just let that happen. But we can actually potentially level, like, unless he's got a move now which kills her, which admittedly he massively could do. Okay, yep, no, so that's stunning all across the way, sadly. But I can at least free her, free both of them for next turn. Because in case he's got a power cascade, we need to have this on Sunburst in case he has a power cascade or something which is gonna, I mean, technically a heal can still get past, but if he tries to use, yeah, Bastion also works. I say that, but I guess actually crap, that still doesn't get you past it. It can hit the shield off, but it still doesn't get you past it, sadly. But at least, okay, right, at least on the plus side, I'm going to be doing more damage to it. It's down to 1, and then we can throw the Croaker out. Yeah, no, I'm actually okay with that. Because we're forcing down their resources as well. Throw down the Croaker. And then we attack forward, which means that Miss Fortune levels. That's actually, yeah, no, I'm fine with this, because we're still forced to Miss Fortune level. Which is very nice, because it actually, whoever he puts in front of this move is dying, right? If he puts her in front, if he puts Leona in front of it, she dies. If he puts this in front of it, he dies. So in terms of the character dies. So I'm perfectly fine with that. Yep, he knows. Imagine if this was still activated, not silenced. Imagine how powerful that would be. Right. I need to kill that dragon. It's just finding a way to kill that dragon. He's playing perfection. He's playing perfection, and you know what? He's really close to being there as well. I love somebody who plays perfection. I'm not gonna lie. Considering the fact that my t-shirt is my deck has no perfected cards with the cat in there. Yeah, no, I 100% approve of this deck that I'm actually up against. I feel like I wait and wait for his attack. Feels like the smarter move. I've got a silence and I've got a power cascade. I want to kill this, but I doubt he attacks forward with it. He's trying to find an obliterate. He's trying to find an obliterate or a way to kill Miss Fortune. Because technically Miss Fortune is such a problem for him right now, which is understandable. Like, you know, if you can find a way to kill her, you're trying to find something. Bit unexpected. Bit unexpected that you'd go for this move, but I will still take it and see what happens. Potentially, I said I could throw the Croaker, but I kind of want to keep it alive just in case. So we do this move. Potentially, yep, so he's going for a heal move. Understandable. Which admittedly, not even a silence can stop this. I can kill this unit, which doesn't really do anything in that respect. silence is also like, I kind of want to activate my pale. Not that it means anything in terms of like I can't actually stop what's happening, but I want that draw. So I mean, like maybe we astral protection, because astral protection is not gonna. Actually, astral protection could save this one's life actually. So I mean, if we were to throw a silence in there as well, but I guess we throw a power cascade. So we can't kill that, but at least we can force a little bit more damage into it, as well as this not actually dying itself, which is at least nice.
Cover me, Crackshot.
I wish I had a scout minion right now. If I had a scout minion with this rally move, would be so powerful. It would be so powerful. We just go forward with everything. We go forward with everything because that damage. We could have technically kept the Corsair back. Oh, Jerry! We could have kept the Corsair back. So I could actually silence this, because silencing this means that it goes down to 1 attack, which means that that still survives. No, I do apologise that I'm not talking as much. I'm really concentrating right now. This game, it's because I know I'm against the perfection deck, and so like I can't. I mean, technically, I should have kept the hush for the perfection. I should have kept the hush for the perfection, but at the same point, I should have kept the hush for the perfection. But we go for the rally. We go for the rally move because we've kind of got to go again. We've got to go again because we've got no other plans right now other than to go again. Potentially Codger. Actually, we can, if we can outboard him with the fact that we know that as well 3 damage is happening from the Miss Fortune move, so whatever he tries to block with is already dying anyway. He wants to be keeping this back. He wants to be keeping that back, but he's got to defend with both. I mean, yes, we're forcing that defense, but we need a top deck hush. We need a top deck hush because the second that perfection hits, we're in trouble. Okay. I need that other hush. I need that other hush. There's 2 hushes in this deck. So find me the other one. Sunburst still is a silence move. If he goes for perfection, we can still silence it on his attack turn. So actually, Sunburst does actually help me. Not a lot, but it does help me. He needs to kill Miss Fortune, and so he's gonna be doing his best to kill Miss Fortune right now. We keep this back. I can take the damage of 3. If he wants to attack forward with that, go for it, mate. Fill your boots, mate. Fill your boots. But yeah, he's going to be trying to kill Miss Fortune. That is his best chance, because he's got potential heals for the core. Oh come on! This has gone big. This has gone big on one goal. We leave it. We leave it. I just really wanted to throw down his pursuit. He threw one of these out already, didn't he? Because when you're doing a pursuit deck, you want to be trying to make sure you're using different cards as much as possible. I feel like he played this already. Or was that a different person? Am I just trying to merge? I mean, he also did that move as well. I swear. Like I mean, obviously he's finding the invoke things that he wants to be using, but I mean, I feel like we've won. He's got such little reason. Yes! Ah! Perfect! I feel that was perfection deck, but he did not find it.
That's how we do.
He did not have the harder cards, you'll go. So that was the heal and hit deck. It's definitely it's an interesting concept. It definitely won more games than it lost, which is like a lot more games than well is. But to be fair, we were playing in normals. You do always need to remember that we're playing in normals with these things. So they're probably not going to work on a ladder, but it definitely is a cohesive deck that can still work in amongst itself. I do actually really like it. I do feel that there might be some change up needed in it, but I do actually like that. Potentially maybe removing a Soraka, putting in a Twisted might be good just for that little extra point of draw, but I'm liking the way this is running at this moment in time. But please let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. There is also the links down there. I said I do stream on Twitch on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays and Thursdays. I was going to say, I needed to say, and Wednesdays, no, and Thursdays. So if you want to come catch the action live, please feel free to link down below, as well as the link to the Discord, if you wish to join the Discord. And if you want to help me hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, please feel free to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. But if not, do not worry. I do not want you to feel pressure. It's just a personal goal of mine. Do not worry. It's all gravy, baby. all that's left to say is thank you. Hope you have a fantastic day, and until next time, bye. From Flash of Brilliance that could save me. Save me! That doesn't save me. Okay. Is there anything from you? Save me. That doesn't save me! Okay. Get rid of this and get rid of this. Find something that can save me.